Good day everyone. So today we'll be discussing HTML text areas. What are HTML text areas? HTML text areas are objects and they are elements in an HTML tag, just like inputs, but they are much larger than inputs. They are used to receive information from a user. This is always an information that always an information that are large in character, like maybe over 500 characters or 1000 characters, but even be 2000 characters. It's based on what the user is writing. So in HTML, if you are trying to ask a user to write something that is very long, maybe you ask the user to write an essay, or you ask the user to write a little description about himself, or a little description about these things he's doing, or the things he wants to do, or the information, maybe a formal write-up, a formal instruction to the organization or to the people he's writing to. So that is the reason why we use HTML text areas. So that's everything we'll be going through in this video. So stay tuned to the end to watch, understand, and implement everything you are going to learn. So
welcome to Textareas. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more wonderful content.
Editing plain text. It is a form and an inline element. So now, what are HTML text areas? An HTML text area is a multi-line field for editing plain text. It is a form and an inline element. It is commonly used in contact forms, comment forms, and more. The text area element defines an HTML text area. Now, HTML text area attributes. The first attribute, rows. It specifies an exact size in the row. So row means as each line is the first line, the second line, the third line, the fourth line. Those are the meaning of rows. And how are rows counted in an HTML text area? Rows are counted with pixels, with VMs. They are counted with viewports. Why are they counted this way? They are counted in a structure. You can look at a web page like square structures, having little dots in it, having little squares in it, little squares. Those little squares represent one pixels. So those are the ways that you can represent a web page. Those are the ways that we are always able to style elements, style inputs, style tags. That's the way we are always able to style them and give them their basic description. So if we are referring to a row now, a row is just telling us how it looks on the street side from the top. So if we have about 5 rows, 5 rows means 5 lines. 5 lines in our normal writing context, it means 5 lines. So now when we talk about columns now, that's cols, it specifies an exact size in column. So that one is telling us about the vertical side, the amount of vertical side, although you won't see that normally, but if you count the amount of text and spaces on that particular line, you can know the amount of columns there. That is the reason why we are always giving it that. We're always giving it that in order for the text area to match what we need. That is why. So now let's quickly talk about placeholder. Placeholder is the text that displays on your text area. If you have viewed inputs or text areas, you would have seen that many inputs, many text areas you will see a little text on it which you can't edit, but whenever you try to edit it, it disappears. So this little text you are seeing is a placeholder. Placeholder is used in order to give a very important information to a user before clicking and writing on. So that is what a placeholder is. So if you want to know why we use placeholders are very, very useful. We use them because without them in an HTML input of text area, you won't be able to give enough information to the user for him to understand what that text area or input means. So a placeholder gives a generally good information, a good startup for a user that want to input information. So now let's look at examples of text area. Text area is always inside the text area element or tag. That's the way a text area always is, having its different attributes: the rows, the calls, and the placeholder. So this is an example. This is an example of a text area. So now, styling text area and getting its value. So let's look at an example of that. So for this text area now, you want to give it a background color of f3, 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 color of d9, 534f. If you are wondering about how all these stylings come into place, these stylings are stylings from CSS, but this that is done here is what is called inline styling. This is called inline styling. This is done in a way so as to make the browser look beautiful, make it look fine as to what you are displaying. So but now in this case, now this was not done. You can actually do this internally and externally, but this was not done externally. Why was it not done externally? It was done this way in order to, easily understand it. So that's why they do it internally, so you can easily understand what they are discussing about. So let's look at this example. Let's look at this. So this is the styling. This is styling here. Style type equals text CSS text area. So now this is the body. This is the text area, and this is a button to get the value of what you typed in. So let's look at the output. So I'll write something inside. Now you can see it's received what I wrote and it displayed it again. That's to confirm to us that it's received it, so then we can use what we have written. So that's what we have on Textareas today, everyone. That's what we have on Textareas today. We have to use that energy to describe it so we can really understand what we are discussing about. So thank you so much if you have been listening and you have been staying tuned since. You have been staying tuned to this time. If you watched to this time in this video, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want you to subscribe so that you can always be able to come back and learn more. You can learn more. Stay tuned to this channel to have access to more updates. So thank you very much, and don't forget to like also. That is very, very important. Don't forget that.